presented by yours truly, as always. Before I start, I have to say I have a few controversial opinions, but I think that's what makes people interesting, is having disagreements. So feel free to disagree with me, but I'm always right. Let's get into Season 1, the most offensive season. Mel was in this season for 2 episodes, yet he somehow said every single slur I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, let's get on to the recap. If you've already seen this season, just look at the pretty meme while I explain everything that's happened. Also, I'm going to skip basically everything. This is not going to be a long... If you really wanted a recap, do not watch. Why? I don't really know what you'd do if you needed a recap. Anyway, let's continue. So, Rick's so hard, he becomes comatose and is trying to look for his family in the zombie outbreak. Obviously, you know, Laurie, Carl, you got the classics, the main characters, if you will. And he finds Morgan, but then immediately leaves Morgan and his child to fend for themselves. Spoiler, Morgan's child dies. Morgan's life is already dead, but that's irrelevant. So, he goes to Atlanta on a horse and meets Glenn. Woo! Yay! Everyone loves Glenn. And everyone else. And everyone else escapes. Other than Mel, who is handcuffed to the top of this roof. But Daryl's really upset about that when they come back. So they have to go and rescue Mel. But Mel's not there. Mel partially is there, you could say. But we'll get onto that in a minute. So they're on the top of this roof and they're leaving when Glenn is kidnapped by the most horrifically stereotypical and quite offensive gang ever, but I don't really want to talk about that. But they end up being fine, so Glenn is released. And while Glenn is being released, the walkers attack the camp and everyone is so shook up because people die. I think Ed dies and this guy's bitten. I think his name is Jim. I forget. So they're like, let's go to the CDC to see if we can find a cure. They do not. Spoiler, they do not. That's literally it. I'm not gonna go into it anymore. Basically, they don't find the cure in the CDC, and the CDC blows up. So let's get on to the most prestigious awards of the evening. This award goes to someone who has caught my eye in some way. They've made me laugh, they've made me cry, they've made me smile, they've served, they've done something to deserve this award. So, without further ado, let me award the Top Slayer. Number 3 is Shane. If you're crushing someone, you're immediately funny. I don't know what to say. It is funny that you're sleeping with your best friend's wife and his son is still there. It's just funny. I don't know what to say. It is funny to me. Number 2 is Dale. I constantly agree with everything he said, and he's serving, although old, but that's fine. Old people are fine. I sound really ageist, but number 1 is obviously Glenn. I cannot live without him. He is the light of my life. Anyway, let's move on to the next award. Oh my god, that transition. Anyway, the most expendable. I also think this is a very prestigious award because in a TV show like The Walking Dead, you need characters to die that aren't the main characters to create tension, because then you think, oh my god, is my favourite character gonna die? The issue is when... How do I say? The issue is when characters are very obviously expendable and just there to die. So this season, Jackie. I'm going to be honest, Jackie fits under the umbrella of like Jackie, Andrea's sister, Carol, Ed, people like that, in my opinion, are extremely expendable. But I think the person who, in my opinion, takes the cake is this guy. I've forgotten what his name is, but the only thing I remember him by is the fact that he looks exactly like Shane, and it's really hard to tell them apart when you're like, you know, when your brain is moving quickly, and when the TV show is moving quickly. So he's bitten, and I thought for ages it was Shane that was bitten. I was like, shit, is Shane gonna die? But no, it was Jim. Jim, I don't remember his name. I'm so sorry, sir. Anyway, moving on to the best death, but there were none this season. I'm sorry. I want blood, I want guts, I want gore, but there was none of the sort. So, moving on to this is, I feel like I had that season exclusive award in every season, so this is that. The most interesting souvenir. You know how I said they didn't find Merle on the rooftop? They actually did. They found his hand. And Daryl kept it in a little handkerchief. Excuse me? What? I understand if it's like a watch or something to remember him by. A hand? No. That is not Slay at all. What was Daryl thinking? I don't know. Anyway, best villain this season. There wasn't really a villain this season other than the Walkers. Which I suppose it kind of should have been that. Oh no, I'm kidding. It shouldn't have. There were interesting villains in this TV show. However, the zombies were the villains this season. I guess the CDC guy, but no, he was just suicidal, and you can't really call someone villain if they're doing suicidal. However, the villain to society and my well-being was the horrific people gang. I don't know what to say. I don't really want to talk about any of this, to be honest. So season 2, the ranch, we're now moving on to. So, also, if you're wondering why I'm always looking down at my phone, but if you're wondering why I'm always looking down, it's because my notes are on my phone, and I think I just said I have the memory of a goldfish. Did I say that? Oh well, it's fine. Anyway, look at me while I recap. So, they all want to go to Fort Benning, but sadly, Sophia runs off while they're being attacked on the way to Fort Benning, so they have to go find Sophia. However, when they go to find Sophia, sadly, Otis shoots Carl. Carl's not dead though. Carl, luckily, is taken to the Herschel Ranch, which is where the majority of this season takes place, and I've forgotten Herschel's last name, so we're just going to call it Herschel Ranch. I think it's Green, but I don't want to say the wrong thing constantly. So, and in the Herschel Ranch, Herschel lets him stay around the perimeters, not even inside of his house, even though his house is gigantic and probably big enough to house everyone. Whatever, it's fine. And then Herschel says they need supplies, right, to fix whatever's going on with Carl because he has a bullet wound, you know, as you do. So Shane and Otis go out to find supplies, and Otis is literally murdered in cold blood by Shane, and it's quite a good death, I can't lie. I'm not sure why it's not top left this season, but whatever. And Laurie tells Glenn that she's pregnant, but Glenn is a terrible secret keeper, so basically everyone immediately finds out, but Glenn's still safe this season. So, also the fucking, I don't even want to talk about this, but the about it. But afterwards Glenn references Paul, so, and Glenn, he looks in this barn and finds a bunch of walkers that Herschel is keeping, because Herschel seems to think that the walkers are like sentient still, but they're not, and Sophia happens to be in that barn. Therefore, the whole season was for nothing, basically, and Daryl almost died for nothing. In fact, I'd say many people almost died for Sophia, who turned out to be in the barn basically the whole time. And Herschel's really upset about the fact that they killed a bunch of his, like, people in the barn, so he fucks off, and everyone goes to find him except Laurie, who decides to take a car ride of death. And even though there's no other cars in the race, I decided to add that in there. And there's this like weird gunfight with the people who were trying to find Herschel. Well, they found Herschel, and then they have a weird gunfight, and they take captive this young boy called Randall, who's done so dirty by this season, to be honest with you. I thought he was quite slay, but that's just me. So he is kind of messing around a bit, you know, leave him somewhere, but then take him back. They torture him, they almost kill him, but then Shane takes him into the woods and metaphorically and physically snaps, because he snaps fucking Randall's neck and tries to kill Rick, but luckily Rick gets the upper hand and kills Shane. But while it's still happening, like, the whole barn is burning down, the Herschel Ranch is burning down, and it's like there's a whole sort of kerfuffle going on, and everyone escapes except Andrea, who's left to fend for herself. You know what I thought? This whole season, I was thinking, oh my god, I'm the Maggie this season, you know? Like, I was like, Jessica and Maggie, we're like similar in basically no ways other than the fact that we're attracted to Glenn. But then I thought, at the end of the season, I thought, what if I didn't have someone looking out for me like Glenn, and Glenn didn't like me back? I would be the Andrea, and I would be left behind. And I felt so bad for her, and she didn't even mention it once. She just shows up. Anyway, Top Sarah Award goes to Dale. I didn't like this season, so I didn't really. Obviously, Glenn slayed, but I did like he didn't really stand out to me this season. Therefore, you know, I guess Dale wins. Good for him. So most expendable this season, there were loads. First one, Otis, but you know he did shoot Carl, so I suppose he did do something. At least slightly. Carol, also quite expendable this season, I'd say. She didn't really do much, but I understand that in other seasons she becomes less expendable, obviously. However, I'd say the most expendable is Beth, sister, wife, mother, I don't know, whatever, wife? I don't know who she is, but she dies, and it's irrelevant. I usually talk more about it, but I'm not going to. And I hope this doesn't get copy fame. I'm going to speak over it. But the best death, oh, I also turned off the sound. The best death, oh god, it's way too loud for my ears, is this walker. If I can guarantee you didn't catch that, but basically, like, it's getting cut off. I know it's technically like a person death, but I'm still counting it. So, best villain this season, controversial, it's kind of Herschel. So, think about it. He provokes Shane by taking their guns away. He doesn't like the causes, I think, a lot of discomfort, and just like general unease in the group. Also, he kind of has that, like, creepy thing going on, where he's like, he thinks that he is, like, keeping secrets from them, and he thinks that the walkers are still alive. But obviously, he's not the actual villain. You can cut him off now, because it's very clearly Shane. He is like, also, like, I feel like some good villains, not all good villains, obviously, but I feel like this good villain, he had a point, you know? When he was like, you can't really protect Laurie. I was like, kind of fact. I mean, he can protect Laurie, but he hasn't. Often it's been Shane that's protecting Laurie, so kind of fact, you know? But anyway, oh, I just realised that covers. Anyway, it's scene most like taught. This one, and I hope this doesn't get copyrighted again. I'm just gonna skip so that I don't have to play it for that long. However, there is an integral. Oh god, there is like an integral part in this scene. I'll just say she says what you got, and he's like, nothing, just general stuff. I think you know what she said there. No, I don't have a girlfriend. Are you a confident guy? No. No. I never have sex. He looks so funny when he's like. Anyway. I really don't want this to play for very long. What? Why? And she's like, oh, sorry, she says you're asking questions, and she's like, there's not much, like, options, which kind of pissed me off, because what? But, well, it's fine, they fall in love eventually, but, like, it's still kind of an original point. It was like, what the fuck? You're just having sex with him because he's the last person. That's kind of cringe, but whatever. Anyway, oh, wait, I had to pause this to go, oh, fuck, wait. No, wait. No! Sorry, I'm really sorry I had to replay this, but, notice how his eyes are open. That is because, as Glenn's actor put it in an interview, and I quote, "In this scene, Glenn is both a participant and an observer." I love that for him. Anyway, moving on to season 3. I actually enjoy this season, so it's just season 1. Okay, I'm sorry. I make some of these memes ironically, but I actually quite find them funny. Anyway, so bit of a recap. They find the prison, but clearing out the prison, Herschel is different, and he's like, but it's fine. He's like, okay, but they have to find what do you call it? Stuff for his leg, obviously. But it's fine. Carl does it. Whatever. Carl slays. But the prisoners inside that were trapped inside were let out and kind of caused a bit of trouble, which ended up killing Laurie, but she had the child, so it's kind of fine. It doesn't really matter. And we're introduced to the governor because Andrew's not there, and her and the show go and see the governor. And they both go with the governor, but then Andrea's kind of like, oh, you know, to be honest, she's been abandoned by her group, so I would do the same thing. And she's going, oh, I'm just going to go with the governor. But not in. But you know, she befriends the governor basically, and I don't like talking about this, but Glenn and Maggie are kidnapped by the governor, and lots of horrific things happen that I don't really want to talk about because I don't know why they left that scene with Maggie and the governor in. It was horrific, and and also Rick's going insane because of the Laurie death situation, but I don't want to talk about that. But either way, Glenn is rescued. Luckily, Glenn and Maggie are rescued even, and the governor wages war, but sadly his plans are foiled by the gang. Actually, I'd say by himself, because he kills basically everyone in his town and burns the town down, and Milton and Andrea sadly pass away, which is not say at all. And kind of side story, but Carl shoots a child, which I think is really interesting. I suppose it's not really a side story, it's more like just like a side point. Anyway, top Slayer award number 3, Glenn and Maggie. This was a very upsetting and depressing season. However, they were almost like the comic relief, but without being funny, because anytime I saw them I just smiled, you know. It was a very cute relationship. Anyway, number 2, Milton. He was constantly giving. He ate, left no crumbs. I can't think of any other phrases to say. He gave, I don't know what else to say. He constantly did the right thing, and I love that about him. Even though he was put in such a position where he has such a big moral dilemma, he still chose the right thing. But number 1, obviously, Andrea. Look at that pose. Do I really have to say any more? I can't get over that pose. I don't know where I found that photo, but it was amazing. Anyway, most expendable. I was just like, kidding. It's Laurie. She did nothing other than fish for compliments this season. I don't think I need to go on because I think I haven't looked on the internet much, but I think most people also don't like Laurie, so she's just annoying. However, the best death has to go to her. I'm not going to play much, but there's lots of blood. Also Maggie, that she reaches into like this like fucking orifice of her body. It's horrific, but also amazing, so stay, I guess. Anyway, next is worst reaction to Gay Son. Again, I'm not going to play very much. I also turn the audio off. Wow, he looks really upset. That's not good. Anyway, moving on to season 4, Ahim, I'm sick. So, let's do a bit of a recap. I really like this season, so I put a few memes. In fact, I would listen to this recap. Actually, maybe don't, because this is probably the worst recap, because I really like the season, therefore I missed out a lot of parts. So Rick decides to choose the life of pacifism and becomes a farmer. But sadly, everyone gets sick, so he has to actually kill people again, because obviously sick people die, sick people turn into zombies, or dead people turn into zombies even, and zombies have to be killed, obviously. And Carol kills Karen and David, but rightly so, in my opinion. But she's sent off by Rick anyways. Rick is like, go fuck off, so, okay. And then halfway through the season, there's like a lot of Governor content, but basically all you need to know is that the Governor kind of, what's the word? Assembles a new team, assembles a new Avengers, and wages war once again on the prison with his tank. But the Governor has a tank, but we have a Daryl, you know. That was the worst meme that I chose, in my opinion. Anyway, the Governor kills Herschel, sad face, and everyone split up in this big explosive. And I think this should have been the end of the season personally, but whatever, it continues. And everyone split up, so they kind of have their own little side plots. And I will talk about one side plot, but my favourite side plot is Beth and Daryl. That's just like a really cute and wholesome. They become besties, but sadly Beth is kidnapped by the end of it. But whatever, it's fine. And but yeah, I'll talk in a bit in a second about another side plot, but we'll get to that in a second. Basically, they all individually go to Terminus. That's the word. They all like on their own accord go to Terminus, which I think is an extreme coincidence, but whatever, it's fine. And Terminus turns out not to be So Slay either, but I don't remember if season 5 is the end of Terminus, or it doesn't really matter. Either way, Terminus isn't Slay. I'm not sure if that's a spoiler or not. I do apologise. Anyway, Top Slayer Award. Michonne is number 3. In season 3, she didn't speak very much, and it annoyed me sometimes, so I didn't give her the Top Slayer Award. However, this season, I love her relationship with Carl, and she's so smart with the whole like chopping off the walker's arms and jaw thing. I think that's just so clever, so she gets number 3 Top Slayer. Number 2, Carol, again, she did nothing wrong, free her. Number 1, though, has to go to Herschel. He dies halfway through, however the writers understand the significance of him, so they bring him back for a bunch of flashbacks. Slay. Anyway, most expendable this season, there were so many, but I feel like it would be kind of, I'd cheat you out of a good, interesting video if I just said like Patrick or Zach, because they were extremely obviously expendable, and they had a lot of civilians in this, I feel, this season. Like, lots of just randos died. So, I decided to have some controversial opinions and go for Tyrese. He was boring, added nothing. I had to watch old people kiss, and it wasn't fun. I'm kidding partially, but anyway. Next person, Bob. He was putting Glenn in danger quite often, and just generally he doesn't slay. The only interesting thing about him is his relationship with Sasha. I hope both of them die in extremely lackluster ways. But these two pale in comparison to the reason why I made this category in the first place. Karen, who was murdered by Carol. It bothers me so much that Carol was cast away just as she was starting to slay. She had top slayer potential, yet just as she was starting to slay, she was cast out of the group because she, rightly so, killed Karen. I'm not trying to argue like ethics of killing someone who's like who has already been dead. I'm talking about as in she could have literally like in front of everyone killed Karen in cold blood with her gun, and then she would have been like, okay, that's fine, whatever, I don't know. But it turned into this huge thing because Tyrese was mad, but he was justified in being mad. However, he was not justified because I don't like him. So the best death this season has to go to the guys in Terminus, who I'm trying to show as little as possible. Yeah, that happens. I really am praying that doesn't get this video taken down by comments. Anyway, best villain in this season goes to, you might be thinking, is this not the governor? No, it is not. It's Lizzie. Let me talk about one of the side plots. So, Carol, Lizzie, Tyrese, Lizzie's sister, and the baby are all killed together when it is revealed to us that Lizzie thinks that walkers are real people and was the one feeding rats to the walkers in the prison and dissecting rats and rodents and rabbits, and she kills her own sister and almost kills the fucking baby. Also, I think she's villainous because her existence meant that Carol has now killed a child in cold blood, which is quite funny. And just generally, she was quite creepy. She was quite a creepy child, you have to admit, you know? Anyway, sadly, that's all we have time for today. I'll see you next year on the Walking Awards.